Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope you are well and having an amazing start to the year. Flying by as always. Thank you so much for all your messages about my latest videos. I'm so glad it's resonating with so many of you and that you're watching them. That's what we're here for, so thank you. Today I wanted to sort of shine a light on something that I've been discussing quite a lot, not just with my clients, but just in general with people. And what we're going to do today is spend the next kind of 5-10 minutes talking about setbacks. Now, setbacks in our life are absolutely inevitable, and they will vary in order of, sort of order of magnitude from more minor setbacks, although that still has an impact, to much greater life-altering setbacks. And so what I really want to do today is just take some time to talk about how to process and deal with setbacks when they happen, because they are inevitable, so that you can move forward and set yourself up for success. The reason that that's so important is because when we face setbacks, there is a risk that it can derail us completely. And whilst that is very understandable, if you have the tools, techniques, and strategies to help you overcome, setbacks can actually be a superpower. And so that's what we're gonna talk about. So, like I say, setbacks can really range in terms of how significant they are, and then that will massively impact the significance that they have in your life thereafter. But that's not to diminish the impact or importance of smaller setbacks. So something doesn't have to be absolutely catastrophic or, like a huge life crisis for you to need the skills to navigate a setback. And it, like I say, it can vary from anything that knocks you off your center. This is what we're talking about today. So in terms of steps to take, the first thing is it's really important to acknowledge where you're at and how you're feeling. We live in a world that is full of mantras. I, for one, am fond of a mantra. If you're connected with me on Instagram, you will know this. I do a daily morning mantra. I've done it, honestly, for about 3 years because I like to get my mindset right. Now, positivity is one of the most powerful tools and techniques that we can implement when we are looking to create change and success. Your mindset is everything. It's everything. Your mindset and being able to channel it in the right way is what is going to make you fly in this life. However, sometimes there is a danger of veering too far into toxic positivity, and that takes us to a space where we're not allowed to feel any type of emotion that would be labeled like negative. Every single human emotion is valid and it's there because it serves a purpose, and it is completely unrealistic to think that we will live our life and only ever feel happiness, joy, love. That's just ridiculous. Our emotions, and some of the tougher emotions to sit with, heartbreak, grief, disappointment, frustration, anger, are all valid and we need them. So when you're dealing with a setback, it's really important to just acknowledge how you feel and label it. And the reason that that really matters, and you don't need to rush that. Sometimes it'll take you a minute to recalibrate and figure out how any sort of change, whether it's been really difficult news, like you need time to process. So, and don't rush that. Don't rush that step. Like, it's really important. We need space and time to acknowledge and accept. and to not try and rush through all of that. Then what we need to do is we need to adjust. We need to, and this comes into some of our like inner narrative. And especially if you are quite a goal-driven person, or you're quite ambitious, or, you know, already successful in your life, it can be really hard to cut yourself some slack. But when we are processing difficult emotions and we're adjusting to any sort of change, we can't do all of the things all of the time. And so you need to adjust your expectations of yourself. You need to communicate that with others and say, for the next however long it might be, life looks a little bit different for me now because this is where I'm prioritizing. So we need to adjust, and we need to do that with like kindness for ourselves, kindness for others. It's can be very difficult to do, and I certainly, for one, something I struggle with is to go a bit easier on myself. And it's just really important to be mindful of that when you're facing something, whether it's any type of change or any kind of setback. It's okay to take a minute and, you know, just give the wave a moment to settle. And then that takes me quite nicely on to the third point, which is you need to remember everything passes. And I think this is almost the toughest bit. I, in my life, have, you know, emerged stronger for all of my setbacks, but I'm not just talking about the odd little, you know, physical injury or, you know, whatever it might be. I'm talking life-changing devastation. And I know through all of that, as I say, when we rise from it, we can do it we can rebuild back better than ever before, because of the lessons that we learn when we are in our deepest, darkest despair. It's where we learn what is most important to us. It's where we learn how we want to spend our time on this earth. We do not learn that when we are flying high on the crest of the wave, right? We learn that when we are swimming to the surface, just trying to get some air. And so just remember, it will pass. It might not seem like it at the time, but you need to keep that faith that this difficulty that you're facing is going to pass. And all of a sudden, you'll laugh again, or you'll watch a sunrise and feel joy in your heart. And then you'll know that you're coming through, you're ready to rise. And when you are there, which is my kind of fourth strategy or tip, strike back with purpose and aggression. Take the time, make sure you've taken the time to know what you want, and then as you start to come back, strike hard, because you meet yourself in a different place when you're going through a difficult time, and actually you come back with this like blazing fire, and it is immense, and it can be so powerful for fueling change. So when you're ready, and you'll know when the time is ready, strike back hard and with clear intention. And then I think the final thing that I want to say, and I'm trying to keep these quite short because it's like a lot to take in, but I think the final thing is, and this is where a lot of the power is, it's reflect. Like, we learn the lesson through reflecting on the experience, and whether that be journaling or whether that's just like talking really openly with people, which actually can be quite hard to do, because being vulnerable is also a bit of a superpower. But take the time when you're ready to reflect on what you have taken from that life experience or that moment in time. And like I say, just remember that there's this quote that I absolutely love. I shared it on my Instagram not so long ago, and it says, "A smooth sea doesn't make for a skilled sailor." And I love it, because if this life is all about as many experiences, gathering as many experiences, and, you know, meeting as many people, and, you know, just taking every ounce out of everything that life has to offer, we are going to be so much better equipped for our futures because of all of the harder things that might have happened to us. Like, they make us. That's where your character and your grit is built, is in those deepest, darkest days. And so I think when we're going through difficult times, it's just really important to remember that they are here to teach us something, and we can emerge even better than ever before. So I hope there's something in there that's valuable to you. I love hearing from you all. I love knowing like what's going on, what you're facing that's difficult, or where in your life are you absolutely thriving. Make sure you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.